Hello there and welcome to another Python video. So in the previous video we have seen how we can use a folder and files inside it to create a dictionary-like behavior to store data. And in this video we are going to see how we can use the SQL counterpart. So we are going to use it as basically a SQLite database as a dictionary. So let's jump right into it. SQLDict.py. So in order to create our SQL dictionary, we have to import a couple of things. So from collections.abc, we import the mutable mapping, and from context.lib, we import the suppress, and from operator, we import the item getter, and we import the SQLite 3. So let's create our class SQLDict. And this is going to be a mutable mapping class. And in the init function, we have to specify it db name, items, and the quarks. So the self.db name is going to be equal to db name, and the self.connection is going to be equal to the SQLite 3.connect self.db name. And the cursor is going to come from the self.connection.cursor. And with suppress SQLite 3 operational error, we are going to use the cursor to execute some queries. So we want to create a table called dict, and we are going to have two columns, a key which is a text and a value which is a text. And the cursor.execute is also going to create an unique index, and we are going to call this, let me look at it, KNDX on dict key. KNDX on dict and key. And we are going to call the self.update on the items and the quarks. So now we have to implement the get item. We have to implement the set item. And we have to implement the del item. And we have to implement the length. Let's put this on hold. So how do we get item from the dictionary? Basically, what we have to do is to go ahead and what do we have? Just a second. So what do we have here? All right. So but how will we go about this? So in order to get an item, basically what we have to do is to query for a given key. So we need the key argument, and what do? We try the cursor dot execute, and we will have an f string, select star from dict, where key is equal to our key, and accept exception as e, raise key error, key from none. So now what we have to do is to basically check whether we have a key. So the key will come from this list comprehension, and we use underscore for underscore in, and this is going to return a list if we have a key. Otherwise it will be an empty list. So now if the key is present, then we have to return the value. So basically return keys first indexes second element, because the assumption is that we have this information with the key and the value. And that's why we need to do this, else we raise the key error and key. All right, so how do we set an item? For the set item, we need a key and a value. And what we would like to do is to try and use the cursor that execute. And we would say that insert or update. So basically we could repurpose this query to check if we have a key. So what do we do? Let's try to check if we have a key. So try key is equal to underscore for underscore in cursor dot execute, and we are going to use select star from dict, where key is equal to our key, and accept exception. Basically, if we have an exception, we can say that the key is none, or just basically an empty list. So now if we have a key which is a non-empty list, what we can do is to use the update dict set value equals to value, where key is equal to key, and And if we don't have it, then we use the cursor that execute, insert into dict, and values key and value. Good. So now we have the set item and the get item. Let's see them if they work. So set item, get item, try and accept. So I'm going to spin up a Python REPL, and from SQLDict we import SQLDict. Okay, it was never closed. Cool, but now it is. All right. And A is equal to SQLDict, and the DB name is demo.db. So we cannot instance class without del item, iter, and length. So, yep, def, iter, and self, and we return the length of the underscore for underscore in cursor, execute, select star from dict. And what did we have in the other iter? Yeah, basically we could do this with the iter. So this is the length function, and the iter is going to go ahead and return the length, or not the length, but rather this select star from dict. And what was the error? Del item. So del item. And what do we do? Cursor dot execute delete from dict where key is equal to key, and we are going to add it as an argument. Let's save it and see how it goes. So we import SQLDict and we instantiate it, and we say that a is equal to Coolio. So cursor is not defined. Oh, because it is self.cursor, isn't it? Yep. Self.cursor, 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 and self.cursor, and self.cursor, and self.cursor, self.cursor, and self.cursor, and self.cursor, and self.cursor at the end. All right, let's try it again. A, that's key error, and the value is 10, 10, 10. Wow, A and B value is whatever. So save cursor, execute, insert into dict, key and value. Oh, sorry, there was a typo here. So now we need to make sure this is an F string and this is an F string. And this should be in curly braces. Cool. And I saw another mistake. So this should also be an F string. So let's see. So now if we go and import it and instantiate it, B is whatever, A is, but why is it unique constraint failed? Key and value. Let's try and troubleshoot it. So we have the dbeaver here. And with the dbeaver, we can connect to a SQLite database. And it's in the desktop coding, demo DB. And browse, tables, dict, key, value, and we don't have a data. But why don't we have a data? So the error was that on line 37, when we want to insert into here, we have integrity error. Let's exit it. Let's try and print it. So now if we reopen it, insert into values. What's going on? Hold on. So M key, and if M key, and now it should start working. So let's remove it. So the problem was that I overrode the argument, and that's why it started failing. A 10, 10, B. All right, and now if I go back here and refresh it. I think I know what the problem is. So let's create a function and we call this show data. And basically for row in self.cursor.execute, select star from dict. We print the row. So I can remove this. And self.connection.commit. And we also need the self.connection.commit. And for the get item, we don't really need one. So let's go back and give it another go. Well, we are getting there. This has been kind of a long video. So let's import it and create it. A and B. And if I go back here and check the data. Let's delete it and try to open it again. And here we go. So if I go ahead and use the a.a, it is going to give back the value. a.b is also working. And if I say that I want to get rid of this key, then it is going to remove it. So technically, this is how you should be able to implement your own SQLDict, which allows you to use a SQL database as a dictionary. So that was all. See you in the next one.